Useless Questions by Laura E. Goodin.
Reference desk, Janet speaking. Can you hold for a second, please? Guys, it's her. Wait, I'll put her on speaker. Thanks for waiting. How can I help today?
Yes, you know that actor, the one who stars in Sands of Our Time, Derek Gunner? Has he got a wooden leg?
Just a moment, I'll look it up. Do you mind holding again?
Well, I'm in a bit of...
Thanks, I'll be right there. Okay, shush. Yes, it seems he does. Isn't that remarkable? You'd never know it to look at him, would you?
No, you wouldn't.
Get off the goddamn phone!
I have to go.
You guys are awful. She really wants to know.
She calls 5 times a day.
She's bored and lonely.
Oh, come on. Is a window cleaner radioactive? Did termites chew holes in the Treaty of Utrecht? What keeps apples from leaking? She is just nuts, that's all.
One time I asked her to leave her name and number, and I'd call her back with the answer. And she said, "Oh, no, don't call me, I'll call you."
She never leaves a name.
She wastes our time.
Why can't she just get a computer and an internet connection like everybody else?
Oh, my turn. Reference desk, Neil speaking.
Yes, hello. Can you tell me, please, what the most commonly reported shape is for a UFO?
Certainly, please hold.
They're getting better every time.
She's calling a lot today, isn't she?
So?
I hope she's all right is all.
Okay, shh. Hello, yes? They are mostly reported to be lenticular, like 2 plates stuck together to form a space between them.
I see. No, that's not quite right. Not from where I'm standing.
Do you think you could take a photo? I'm sure the researchers would be very interested.
Do you think so? But I don't have a camera. My husband...
You couldn't even make the gesture of trying to look it up, could you? Would it have killed you?
She doesn't care about the answers.
I'll get it this time. Reference desk, Deb speaking. How can I help?
I need to find out what kind of lobsters are orange. Yes, lobsters. That's it, orange ones.
Could you hold for a moment? I'll try and find out for you.
Are you actually going to look that up for her?
Hello, are you there?
Yes, did you find it?
Apparently they come in a variety of colors, including but not limited to red, blue, green, purple, yellow, and magenta.
Oh dear. That's not very specific, is it?
I thought I told you.
Goodbye.
Look, Deb, you have a master's degree. There is no reason you should have to sit there and babysit the lunatic fringe.
Librarians are supposed to help people.
That's what they tell us in grad school. They tell us a lot of things that don't end up being true.
Like what?
Like the thrill of research, the shining, happy faces of children you help with their papers on Bigfoot. Honest to God, if I have to show one more kid the Bigfoot section, I'm gonna scream. I mean, why don't any third graders want to research Derrida's theories of deconstruction?
You get used to it.
You shouldn't. When someone asks something, it's not the 1000th time for them.
It is for no name. How long has she been calling? Years now.
If you're so bored, why not look for another job?
Yeah, with a degree in library science.
If you can't leave, then make the best of it. And stop taking it out on no name. Be as nasty as you want on your own time, not here. Reference desk, Deb speaking.
Which element gives off a blue vapor when heated?
I'm sorry?
Some elements, when you heat them, give off colored vapors. I need to know which element gives off a dark blue vapor. Dark blue.
Let me see. Yes, apparently a mixture of sulfur and mercury can give off a blue vapor.
Dark blue?
Why do you need to know? Maybe that will help me find the answer.
What the hell?
I have to go. Goodbye.
Well, that was enlightening.
She'll go back, and you'll see I'll find out what that problem was, and I'll solve it for her. It'll make a real difference. It'll make things better for her. That's why we do this.
You're taking time and energy away from people who are actually going to use this information to benefit someone. Anyone.
Hey, come on. We all know those Bigfoot kids aren't going to grow up to benefit anyone.
I can't believe it, Neil. Even when you're trying to be positive, you're negative.
What?
You couldn't, I don't know, think about how the quest for knowledge is valuable for its own sake?
If you buy that, Neil, you'll spend the rest of your life here, like me.
Neil, don't let her poison you.
Poison!
Okay, stop. Just stop. Whoever gets me to agree with her, does that one win? It's stupid.
Reference desk, Deb speaking.
Yes. How big do lobsters generally grow? I mean, what's the biggest they can grow? I mean, do they ever get to be, say, 6 feet long?
If you'd like to hold for a moment.
And do they ever use tools? Like guns? Ray guns, specifically. I think those are ray guns, seeing as the neighbor's dog is missing.
Please hold, and I'll find out what I can. I'm not sure I can answer about the ray guns, though.
Whatever you can find out would be fine. I'm in a bit of a hurry, though.
Quick, get off! Get off!
No, not this!
Oh, quick, give me the shovel!
I haven't got a shovel.
You're no good for anything! That frying pan, then! Call the police!
In a minute. I'm trying to talk.
Who are you on the phone with? Give me that! What was that all about? The lobsters' ray guns?
Ugh, don't be stupid, Neil. You think they're beating back giant alien lobsters with a frying pan?
Cast iron by the sounds of it.
I'm not sure I'd go that far, but I am getting a little worried. Maybe we should send the police over there.
Over where? Does the caller ID even show a number?
No, blocked.
So are you going to waste more of the taxpayers' time and money on No Name trying to track her down and then tell the police, you better get over there, I think the lobsters are winning?
All right, she's a little eccentric, but just because you don't see why she's useful, that doesn't make her worthless.
My job is to give people the information they need to accomplish things. If they're not going to do anything with what I find for them, then I may as well have just dug a hole and buried it.
That's just stingy. Does information get used up?
No, I do.
What?
I get used up, and then I go home, and it's everything for everybody, all day and all night. And don't you start with the advice. What would you know? How old are you?
I don't
23, 24, married? No. Kids? No. Mother with Alzheimer's? No. Father with diabetes? No.
Does a tough life make you the one who decides what people are worth?
I can tell the difference between people who make a contribution and time wasters.
Reference desk, Deb speaking.
I need to know how to make a handheld bazooka and exploding shells. Quick! Quick!
My arm! Oh God, stop my arm!
Well, why didn't you keep hitting it with the frying pan? Seems simple enough to me.
My God, was that your husband? Is he all right?
Never mind him. Are you going to tell me how to make that bazooka? Well, do I have to do everything myself?
Sounds like she has everything under control.
You're not worried?
I have real worries. No name.
Is it real? I see.
Oh, you think I'm self-centered, but you're the one who uses people. Poor, sad, helpless people, to make yourself feel wise and kind, offering your benevolent hand to raise them from the gutter of their ignorance. You're so patronizing, it makes me sick.
Whereas to you and Neil, people are just annoyances.
Hey, leave me out of this.
So you're on her side, and I thought we were friends.
We are
Well,
friends.
apparently not anymore.
Well, don't be like that.
Neil, why do you keep falling for it?
For what?
She just wants someone to admire her and giggle at all of her jokes.
Well, some of her jokes are pretty funny. Like, what was the one yesterday, Janet? Man walks up to his doctor and he says that...
No, Neil, no.
Sorry.
You see, you cower and simper and do everything she tells you, like No Name and her husband.
I don't cower.
I'm sorry, Neil. I shouldn't have said that.
It's all right. I mean, I'm pretty easygoing. I can understand how that might seem. Well, in any way, it doesn't sound like No Name is like that anymore.
Don't worry about it, Neil. You and I both know you're not just the new kid here. Just because Deb hasn't seen your potential yet.
What?
You treat him like a servant, not a colleague. Doesn't she, Neil?
No, she.
Watching that go on every day. I feel so bad for you.
But
She could at least let you draft up some of the reports or work on the website.
Well, that would actually.
I bet you'd be great at editing the website.
Okay, thanks, but I don't.
Janet, stop it! You're acting like I'm oppressing him or something.
No, not at all. I'm just saying you might want to look at why you're not giving him more opportunities. Seems pretty obvious that you are afraid of the competition.
I wonder what No Name was actually hitting with the frying pan. It sounded pretty intense, too intense for, say, cockroaches.
Oh, don't tell me you think she's really battling big lobster aliens.
And her husband sure was making a lot of noise.
Probably because his wife finally said boo to him. Shock of his life. That's why he screamed.
Can we put a trace on the call?
I'm not sure it's legal for us to do that. Patron confidentiality.
But if they're in trouble...
Unless No Name gives us the information, there's just nothing we can do.
Don't worry, she'll call again, wondering where the ears are on earthworms or something.
Reference desk, Deb speaking.
That's right. Take that. Yes. Go ahead and cringe. Oh no. Oh, don't you dare. That's my best. Right. That does it. Yes. I need the number of the Pentagon. This is getting out of hand.
Right away, but do you need help?
Yes, of course. I can't hold it back all by myself.
Give me your address and I'll send the police over.
They'll be no good at all. Them and their silly little guns. I need real firepower here. The Pentagon. Get me their number.
I'm trying.
See if you can get their extraterrestrial department.
What?
I think it's General Firstenwell, something like that. I could just kick myself for losing his number.
No, I can't find.
Another ship's landed. That makes 5. I can't hold out by myself much longer. What? Oh no! Oh no!
So...
The neighbor's dog chewed up the phone. Happened to my grandma just last month. You wait. She'll call again. Any minute now. As soon as she finds the spare phone and thinks of another batty question.
She's not going to call.
Oh my god, did I just hear someone get eaten alive by aliens?
Grow up, Neil.
What? You don't think it could happen? Or you think No Name is too meek and silly to take on a bunch of aliens? Maybe she's braver and stronger than you think she is, or was. Maybe she was 10 times the person you are.
You laughed too when she called.
Yeah, and now I'm sorry, now that she's dead and everything.
She is not dead. Did they give you a master's degree for that kind of thinking?
No. for demonstrating a correlation between the number of catalog terminals and the number of requests for interlibrary loans. No, they did, really. See, now, no one had actually worked it out before.
Thanks. Thank you, Neil. Thank you. Thanks.
But it's important.
Oh, like no-named lobsters?
No, but... I mean, yes, exactly like the lobsters.
And they're flying soccer balls? Very important.
Soccer balls?
They're ships. They're ships.
No Name never said what shape their ships were.
Anyway, I hardly think that lobsters in spaceships are anything more than a lonely old woman's daydream.
And who said she was old? We don't know she's old.
Geez, Janet, you sure do make a lot of assumptions. It's really not good research practice.
What if they're not assumptions?
You think Janet's seen the lobster ships?
How long have they been targeting No Name, Janet?
What?
Which of her questions tipped you off that she was starting to put two and two together?
You are not making any sense.
You must have been watching her for years. That's why you took this job. How long have they been infiltrating?
Infiltrating?
Spies!
No!
How did they get you to go along? What did they promise you?
Oh, Neil, for God's sakes.
Poor No Name, the only one batty enough to see the connections where all us normal people couldn't. And she died for it. But we know now, we'll stop you now.
You couldn't stop a flea. Even if I were collaborating with giant space lobsters, there wouldn't be a thing you could do about it.
Stop pretending!
Stop being an idiot. You're worse than No Name.
I want to be like No Name. And I'm gonna find a way to stop those lobsters. And stop you!
Neil! No, don't go! Not before we make a plan! Good one, Janet. You'll have his death on your soul, and No Name's, and her husband's, and how many others? Neil's right, it all makes sense.
Except for the fact that it is based on the existence of giant space lobsters.
If I can't stop the lobsters directly, I'll at least get people thinking, imagining, seeing connections, putting the pieces together.
Oh, you are just as idiotic as Neil and No Name.
I'm not afraid of your ridicule, and it's not going to stop me. I've got to spread the word. I'm starting with the State Library Association.
What? No. I am nominated for president. It's taken me 17 years on that committee waiting for a dozen old librarians to die.
How will they like it, do you think, that you violate the code by making up answers to reference questions?
What code?
The code of the librarians. You mean you don't know about the code? The rest of the committee isn't going to be too pleased about that either.
They're not going to find out. The lobsters got rid of No Name, and they will get rid of you.
And then they'll install you as president of the State Library Association. I'm sure it's top of their to-do list, right after subdue entire planet.
Look, the lobsters know what they're doing. People will have to start contributing and being useful. When I think of where we could be if all of us were useful, we could be traveling the stars, like the lobsters. Instead, we're just paddling around in the mud of Earth. We can learn, though. We can learn.
How many others are there like you?
How many people do you see every day who have no time for idle questions? How many who yearn for efficiency and structure?
That many. Then there's no hope. The lobsters have already won. Reference desk. Debs?
Well, no thanks to you.
No Name!
Who?
You.
Yes, of course.
What about the lobsters?
Now that's very interesting. Remember last week when I asked about the electrolytic properties of barbecue sauce? It's a good thing I did. Because guess what?
What?
That's the very stuff that will take out those lobsters. Thank heavens we had some left over from 4th of July. So I guess I do owe you a thank you. You're the best one there, you know.
Oh, thanks.
While I've got you, and I finally have some peace and quiet, I need to ask you for the number for, what is it, those people who look for aliens?
SETI?
Yes, that's it. I need to give them a piece of my mind. They're so slack. Oh, and could you please find me a good recipe for lobster bisque? You shouldn't let things go to waste.
Would you like to hold?
Oh, no, thanks. I'll phone back in a few minutes if that's all right.
Of course.
Well,
What?
you gonna call the cops on me?
Sure. I'll tell them I have this coworker who abetted an alien invasion by thwarting the legitimate services of the county library reference desk. You can corroborate this with one of our callers. Her name. No. Address? Phone number? No. But she used to have this really obnoxious husband, if that helps.
I'm not going to quit if that's what you're hoping. I'm going to stay right here and advance the calls until the lobsters send the next wave.
You won't ever get so far again, now that I'm watching you.
You can't watch me all the time.
But there will always be more no-names and more useless questions. Wonderful, brave, useless questions. The lobsters had better be very, very afraid.
Someone reached in and grabbed it. What's wrong?